Hello, my fellow chatterers and you winter wonderland walkers. Not to be confused with white walkers. Very, very, very different vibe. Very different. And anyone else who's popped in because you're curious about what is on my head or you've got a bit lost and confused. Welcome anyway. I'm Chatty and I am wearing a reindeer onesie and chatting away madly about everything I want to read over the December month, the readathons I want to take part in, and I'm really, really excited. And I don't quite know what I'm going to be reading, so we're going to work it out together, which will be fun. Sadly, I am not playing my book game, Book Ladders and Book Snakes for the TBR because I just need a break from... I know what I want to read, so I don't need the game to choose it for me this month. It's a lot of fun. I really enjoy it, but I just needed to not do it this month. So just having a break from it. I'm still going to play it because I'm going to use it to make a tea and taste and to work out like my wintry season shelf. So I'm going to be putting books in the forefront, and so we're going to use the game from that, but it's not going to have the same high stakes. I'm going to have Christmas gift to myself, no high stakes, just fun times reading. So I am going to be talking about two fantastic readathons that I'm really looking forward to taking part in. So the first is Havoc-athon, which has been created by Courtney from the channel at Tangible Reads. She is a huge amount of fun. If you have not discovered Courtney, links in the description box. Go and check her out. She does wonderful reading sprints every Tuesday and she's hilarious. She's so full of life. She's like, if you need a coffee, watch Courtney. And so Havoc-athon works so perfectly for her. She's like, Christmas is chaos. There's so much going on. We're going to have a Havoc-y readathon. Marvellous. So there's 5 prompts for that and you can double up. So I'm hoping to kind of incorporate that with the other readathon that I'm doing. The other readathon I'm doing is the Reindeer Readathon. That's my reindeer trot. This has been created by Eric from Break Even Books and it is the 4th year running, my first year participating, and I'm so excited to be doing this. It's already, there's a whole joyous feeling on the Discord. I will link Eric's channel, Eric's announcement video. Please go and look at that. There is still time to sign up and join a team and have a wonderful time choosing books. If you only read one book, totally fine, doesn't matter. You're there to have fun, you're there to enjoy yourself. You don't have to read everything. No one expects you to. Most people are going in on this going, I'm not going to read this, but this is what I could read. So there's no pressure, it's just so much fun. So I'm going to go through the prompts that, as with all my videos, this is one shot. There is no editing. We're on take 2 because I fudged up my intro, didn't really know what I was saying, so it took a little bit of time to work out what I wanted to say. So we're on take 2 and we're just going to roll with it now. So all chaos that happens, I've gone too far into the video, I'm not stopping and redoing. But I have made no notes whatsoever. This is all from my memory. So it's also a test of, can I remember all the prompts correctly? We will find out. We will find out. Can I remember what I possibly thought I might fit in the prompts? We will also find out. So here we go. Cheers, everyone. So before I start fitting books into the prompts, I want to talk to you about the things that I'm hoping to read. So first of all, buddy reads. It's always the big one. And I have several. So the first one might be December, but could easily be January too. I'm going to see the way the dice rolls. It will all depend. And that is The Vanishing Half by Britt Bennett. I have read I have read Passing by Nella Larson. I loved the concept. I loved the beginning of it. Didn't love it as much as I was hoping to, but absolutely adore Nella Larson's writing. And Passing was the inspiration behind The Vanishing Half. So I'm hoping that I enjoyed this book. I've heard great things about it. I've also heard booktubers who I love say that it's not their favourite, that they didn't enjoy it and it didn't work for them. So I'm intrigued to see where I fall, but also I really do want to read this book. I love the concept of race. I love the idea of these two sisters who are black but can pass for white because of their light skin tone, and they choose very different lives. One goes, one is in the black community and one has gone into the white community and no one knows she's black. And then we get generational stories and we will see what happens. I'm really intrigued to see what comes out of this in terms of the themes as well as the character emotion and the plot of the story. I'm also going to be buddy reading this with Maria from Read Fine Books. And she very kindly is like, I'm happy to read it December or January, whatever you decide. So Maria, we'll find out. We will find out. But I'm really excited to be able to chat with her because I always love a chat with people about books. It's in the title. So this is Buddy Read Possibility 1. A buddy read that absolutely will be happening is the final book in the Cog-along. So myself and Vadania Silverscribe, again, all channels mentioned will be links. All books mentioned, I will link their story graphs so you can have a look about the synopsis of them in greater detail, and also you can check for trigger warnings as well if you are someone that needs to check those in books. Story graph is fantastic for trigger warnings. So Shadowsea is the final book in the Cogheart adventure series, and Vadania and I have been having the best time just enjoying these books. Each one feels like they get better. They're a fun adventure. They're not ones that I think if you didn't enjoy middle grade you would enjoy. Like, I think there are some middle grade that you can enjoy even if you don't necessarily enjoy middle grade. These ones, they have a lot of middle grade. They have a lot of things that are kind of typical for middle grade in them. And there are certain moments you do feel that are based more at children than at adults. It's a middle grade book, obviously. But the adventure in here they're so much fun. The world and the imagination of this kind of steampunk Victorian London with some Penny Dreadful vibes, it's a real delight. And I've grown really, really fond of the characters as well. And each book, our enjoyment has just increased and increased. Vadania thinks this is going to be her favourite because each book's going to get better and better. I'm feeling slightly more sceptical. I think it's almost like a self-preservation. I still feel that the third book is going to be my favourite, and this one isn't going to quite hit the mark as much because it's got to tie up the whole ending and there's a lot of pressure on the final book. So I don't want to give it that pressure. But anyway, I'm so excited to be reading this final book with Vadania and finishing our Cog-along. Yes, enjoying the final book in the series. Another final book that we're coming to is the final book in the Tawny trilogy, Fool's Fate. Absolutely need to be reading this one. This is a definite priority for this month, because continuing the journey with Fitz in the Tawny Man, and I really enjoy being on the Discord in Gregory LePerch's Discord, and the Hobbalong chat with Anitha Garde and Pete from Pondering of Pete, and of course Derri's in there. She self says haunts all Hob chats, so we love seeing Derri pop up. And also some Stacey and Bridget, and there's so much wonderful chat going on in there for Hob. And when you read Hob, you need that chat. It's so hard to read Hob alone. Don't do it. Find a chat. Find people to read Hob with you. You will appreciate it. So yeah, Fool's Fate needs to be read. And then I'm still reading the Ember in the Ashes quartet. The next book is A Reaper at the Gates by Sabaa Tahir. I have really enjoyed Ember in the Ashes and A Torch Against the Night. I don't read I don't read a huge amount of YA. I'm reading quite a lot of YA at the moment, but generally, like, I do tend to kind of go for more the adult epic, and this has been really enjoyable because it's kind of like a break from that, because the pace is faster. There's no kind of breathing space. There's a lot of intrigue going on. There's a lot of interesting character development. The world is a really harsh world, but there's a lot of mystery to it, and there's lots of things going on. So I'm really excited to be continuing my journey with this series. And I'm buddy reading this with a few people from Discord, Anitha Garde again, and Miss Winchester on Discord. So yes, enjoying chatting to people. We're all kind of reading at our own pace, so kind of like catching up in the chat when each of us get there, but it's still good fun. The final buddy read is another Vadania one. So I, having been banging on for ages about Once We Were Witches, she delightedly heard me, decided to read it and loved it, which It made me so happy. Made me so happy. And I have been waiting for the sequel to this to be released. Here it is. Twice We Make Magic is here. Vadania is up for reading it. We're going to read it together. But I want to read Once We Are Witches before I read the second one. So I'd like to read both of these in December. I still haven't finished November yet. I may start it in November. We will see. But definitely Twice We Make Magic will be being read with Vadania. And this is really cool. So I got this from the Book Nook, which is an independent bookstore in Brighton. Sarah Driver, the author, lives locally. And it's been personally signed. It says, for Charlotte, happy reading. So that makes me really happy. So yeah, that was very cute. And the artwork in these books are amazing. The illustration is by Fabi Santiago, and their illustrations are gorgeous. So, so beautiful. I mean, look at the covers. We've got these two sisters on here. So lovely. Okay, so that's all the buddy reads. I then have some other things that I'd like to get in here as well. So some wintry books that I'd quite enjoy. The Girl Who Speaks Bear by Sophie Anderson. I absolutely love The House with Chicken Legs. This is the second book that she wrote. I really want to read it. And as you can see, there's some very wintry vibes going on in there. So that makes me feel happy. So I'd like to read that one. I'm also really enjoying reading the Adventures on Train series. This one I have already read. I got it out of the library. But I want to be crazy. And so I'm getting all of the out of the library. I don't own them. But I had such a good time with this one. I was like, I kind of want to carry on reading the books, but I've turned into such a seasonal reader. Like I don't want to read about summer and winter. I've just turned into one of those. So the next book is called Murder on the Safari Star. I don't want to read that one next. I want to read the fourth one. I want to read Danger at Dead Man's Pass because it's set in the winter and there's snow on the cover. I kind of feel with these you can read them out of order because I think they might allude to certain things, but I don't think they're going to give away the plot of that book. So for example, in this second one, we know that he solved a mystery in the first book, but we don't know who it was or what happened. The details aren't given. You just know that he did it. So I'm hoping the same thing happens. But I just want to read a wintry book with adventures on trains. So I really want to read Dangers at Dead Man's Pass. I'm sorry everyone who is like physically feeling uncomfortable about the fact that I want to read a series out of order. But I do because I love chaos. There we go. There's the Havoc-athon bit coming through. And then we'll all just be, you know, wintry fun times from now on. I feel like I'm going to contradict myself now. Oh well. So now I have two more books from the library. If I get Dangers of Dead Man Pass at, it would be more. If I don't, here's two books from the library. No one cares about my grammar. It's fine. So I went to the library, like you do. And I can't go into a library without coming up with more stuff. It's hard. I like to support the libraries. And sometimes I'm like, I can get stuff out, but it doesn't matter if I don't read it. I can put it back. The ones I don't like to do with that are the ones I've specifically reserved. And you have to pay for. You have to pay for those books to come to you a little. Not much, but a little bit. It's like, you know, it'd be good to read them. Other ones, you know, it doesn't cost you anything. And it just shows on the library records that these books you are interested in them. And that's good for the library and good for the author. But I would like to read them. So the first one I have is Fierce Femmes and Notorious Liars by Kai Cheng Tom. So this is a LGBTQ plus story. It is about a trans girl who... Is it trans or is she non-binary? La la la. Talk amongst yourselves while I quickly try. Okay, it doesn't say. It definitely features trans characters under the trans umbrella. It sounds really good. I've heard good things about it, so I'm really keen to read it. And it's quite small, so I feel it would be a really quick read for me, and I can pick it up and put it in there. So we'll see how it goes. And then this one's been looking at me for a long time. And look at this. Look at this. So this is Nura and the Immortal Palace by M.T. Khan. And it has a peephole. So we have this wonderful like stars swirling around. And we have this little gap here. And then we open the front cover. And oh my goodness, look. We have this wonderful sort of Arabian palace on this lake with these sort of like dragon gondolas, and the colour palette is all like purples and pinks in like the sky with some yellow, and there's a moon shining, and it looks so beautiful. It makes me think of Christmas lights. It's giving me really like gorgeous, enchanted Christmas lights. But I have a feeling it could be kind of like more of a desert. I think it's a desert fantasy. So I may be contradicting myself about not wanting to read warm books, but it could still be cold in the desert. We don't know. It's fine. I make total sense. And this little words that are kind of written in the sky underneath the flap, it says, "Welcome to the world of magic, splendor, and trickery. Welcome to the world of the djinn." And look at the back. We've got these wonderful, what do you call, I don't know, like that sort of Arabian window where it comes to a point and it's kind of like feathered. And then this kind of beautiful sort of like, it's not mosaic, but it's a lot of kind of the art style they use in a lot of mosques, like because Islam doesn't do any kind of like people depiction, but they have lots of beautiful patterns to kind of decorate. So it's got all of those kind of things on the back. So I'm really excited about this one. And apart from me being excited about it, there's no kind of other reason to read it. I'm not finishing off a series. It's not a buddy read. It's not a book I own, but I want to read it. So there we go. It's in the pile. And finally, I have some finishing off series. Other series that are just me. No one else is involved. Well, that's a lie, but we'll come to that. Finishing off series. So I have this duology, Even the Darkest Stars. So we have, the first book is Even the Darkest Stars by Heather Fawcett, and the second book is All the Wandering Light. Now, I read Even the Darkest Stars in February, and when I finished it, I was like, oh, I don't know what I'm supposed to think. I need the next book before I can know what I'm supposed to think. So I finally have the next book because I wanted it in hardback to match. And they're wintry, they're polar fantasies. There's lots of ice, there's lots of snow. I want to read them in this wintry time to give me all of those wonderful feels. But this will be a reread. But I think I was just going to go in for this one, but it's like, it's been a while. I want to fully appreciate the story and give it a chance to really shine. So I'm going to reread Even the Darkest Stars and All the Wandering Light. That is the plan. Finally, a book I've been anticipating for such a long time. It's over a year of anticipation, and there's just something wrong with me, and that's my mother. I'm just going to blame her. Nata, I'm just going to blame you. It's your fault. It's just going to be your fault. I'm just going to feed into your Catholic guilt here. This is your fault. So myself and my mum read Nevermore together. I'd heard amazing things. I felt like she was going to love it. I thought it would be really fun to buddy read with her. And it was. We set ourselves like, we're going to read 5 chapters and we're going to ring each other and we're going to talk about them. And our schedules are very different. Our ability to read at different times is very different. So there was a bit of like, will you hurry up and read it? Between both of us so we can talk about it. And I think at the end of, we also did the same with Wondersmith. And I think at the end of Wondersmith, there was kind of a moment like we'd got 10 chapters. And I'm like, can we just read to the end? And Mum was going, thank goodness you said that, because I just need to finish it. So we did. And then for whatever reason, I think we were just both really busy and we never picked up Hollowpox. We haven't picked up The Hunt for Morrigan Crow, this wonderful, wonderful book. It just hasn't been picked up by either of us yet. And it's been so long that Mum's like, I need to read the first 2 so I understand what's going on. And I've said, I want to read this before the end of the year. I want to read this before the end of the year. It's now December. Nata, this is being read. It's being read. So, if you want to read with me, you know what you need to do. Okay? Okay, good. Just clarifying. I wanted to read this book. Hollowpox. One more. There's one more book I don't have from the library. I didn't have a placeholder for it, so that's why. Oh, let me grab a placeholder. I'm going to use Bally Shoes as this is my placeholder for this. So I'm also part of the FOMO book club. I'm not going to read everything, but I Captured the Castle by, I'm going to say Dodie Smith. If I'm incorrect, I apologise, and I will obviously do the correct Storygraph link, which will have the correct information, so you will be able to see who it is actually by. But for now, I think it's Dodie Smith. And I've heard this book a lot, and I've never read it, and I'm interested. I'm already feeling the FOMO because it's a November-December read, and I haven't read it in November, and so many people are going, oh, this is so much fun, and talking about it, and I wasn't expecting this, and I'm like, oh, I'm not part of the conversation because I haven't started. This is my typing fingers, just so you know. So yes, I would also like to read that one. That's a lot of books. What will occur? What will occur? We don't know. So, Havoc-athon. We're going to do that one first because it's quicker and easier. But I don't know if I'm going to... Everything I lock in might depend on what I pick for the reindeers, so we'll see. But the first book, I know this will be read. Fool's Fate will definitely be read. So, one of the prompts for Havoc-athon is to read a book that is a fantasy, a sci-fi, or a horror. Fantasy, please. Thank you. And another prompt is to read a book with red in the title. The title of my copy of Fool's Fate is written in red. Yay! 2 books. 2 things ticked off in one book. Yes! Then it gets more complicated. So the second prompt. This is 1 and 5. Another prompt. Another prompt is to read a book by a BIPOC author, which is Black, Indigenous, or person of colour. So my options for this are, this is where it becomes like, I'm not sure what I'm reading. Ta-da! My options for this are Reaper at the Gates by Sabaa Tahir, The Vanishing Half by Britt Bennett, and Nura and the Immortal Palace by M.T. Khan. And I am going to make up my mind later which one is going to go in that slot. And then it is to read an LGBTQ plus book. Out of all these books, the only one I have which is featuring any LGBT plus rep in it is Fierce Femmes and Notorious Liars. So that makes my choice for me. Not great on my broadening horizons, but that makes my choice for me. And then the next prompt is read a crime or mystery book. And so the only one I have for that one would be The Danger at Dead Man's Pass, which we're pretending this is. So that would be that one. There we go. And then a Christmas film. And my Christmas film staples are The Muppets Christmas Carol because it's amazing. I love it. I also really enjoy Arthur Christmas as well. It's really cozy. But I've never seen Elf. And I feel that I should. So that's a possibility. Also, my children really adore the Home Alone films. So probably going to be watching maybe even both Home Alone 1 and Home Alone 2. We will see. Right, so that's Havoc-athon. Done Havoc-athon. It's time for reindeers. So now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer and Vixen, on Comet, on Cupid, on Tonner and Blitzen, to the top of the porch, to the top of the wall. Now dash away all, and read off. So we have Dasher is the first one. And this is to finish a book, no, finish a series. So this is to finish a series. Each prompt, so there's 9 prompts in the Reindeer Readathon. And each prompt is worth a different number of points. So there is strategy within that, but there's also like trying to make sure the points you pick will actually fit. You then get 3 bonus ones, so you can give extra points to any of the 9 books if they fit those prompts. So the 3 bonus points are, you could read one of your 9 books as an ebook, you could read one of your 9 books as an audio, and one of your 9 books, if it's over 500 pages, would give you those extra points. So that's 500 pages Christmas Star, Christmas Lights, I think, is the ebook, and Christmas Bells or Carols is the audio. Anyway, watch Eric's video. Break-Even Books will explain it all to you in a much better way than I can. I'm also going to link all the co-hosts, so all of those will explain it much better. I'm just talking about what I might be reading. And losing my voice, apparently. And I have no rookie mistake. There's no fluids here. So I'll just have to croak at you. So anyway, series finishing. We have two options. We have Fool's Fate. We have Shadowsea. And a push, we could probably say Twice We Make Magic, because up to date, this would be the end of the series. So that's a possibility, but it doesn't quite fit as well as these two. So that's two possibilities for Dasha. Dancer is to read a book with sort of beautiful cursive writing on the front cover. So, oh, so many of these would count. Possibly, but I think there are ones with more cursive-y writing than that one. That's a no. Nope. Nope. Oh, yes, a little bit that one. And a little bit that one. Where's the... Oh, they're over there. Right, okay, cursive writing. As you can see, Girl Who Speaks Bear. There's all sorts of twirly bits going on in those letters. Hollowpox, the X has got some twirliness going on, so it does not as well, but it could still count if I needed it to. Once We Were Witches and Twice We Went Magic have some swirly bits going on. I think the most swirly is oh, not as much as I thought. It's just the A. So all the L and the H in All the Wandering Light have got swirly bits going on. Also in Even the Darkest Stars. So again, lots of options for those. Ones I'm leaning most towards fulfilling this prompt, unless I need to remove them, is The Girl Who Speaks Bear and All the Wandering Light. We'll see what happens. So, Dasha Dance Prancer. Okay, this is one I haven't got any books in mind because any book can fit it. So this is to pick a book that matches your favourite season. Do I have a favourite season? No. So I can kind of do whatever the hell I like, really. Because I could decide today this is my favourite season. So basically this is kind of like a wide open one. I mean, Shadowsea could be, I like spring, look at all the green growthy. It could also be, I love winter, look at all the festive green colours. Hollowpox could be similar things, but also the orange flame could be autumn vibes. Winter. With Even the Darkest Stars, All the Wandering Light, The Girl Who Speaks Bear, all very wintry. Danger at Dead Man's Pass would also come into that as well. Autumnal, we've got the Once We Were Witches and Twice We Make Magic, with all of their wonderful kind of spooky treeness and witchy vibes going on. It makes me think autumn. So varieties of things possible for Prancer. Dasha Dancer Prancer. Vixen. Vixen's the one that's annoying me. Vixen is read an overhyped book. And the ones, so when you hear overhyped, I always feel like it's ones where you think lots of people are talking about it and about it and about it, but it doesn't necessarily deserve that love and respect. It's not as good as people are saying. But lots of people have kind of said you could look at it, basically as long as you look at it ones that people are talking about, you don't know until you read the book whether or not it is overhyped. So I think the only ones I would probably put into that category are these three. No, that was not the book I was expecting. These three. So that's your Robin Hobb. Loads of people are talking about Hobb. Still not enough, but loads of people are talking about Hobb in the circles I'm running in. The Vanishing Half, not so much anymore, but last year lots of people were talking about the Vanishing Half. And I do think the Ember and the Ashes series is still quite widely spoken about, so Reaper at the Gate would work. Just I don't want to put this one in the overhyped category. but if I'm forced to, I may have to. But I just don't think you can overhype Hob, because the hype is real. It's real. Right, done 4 reindeers, 5 more to go. Comet. So Comet, wonderful name, is read a book with something cosmic in the title, like a star, moon, planets. So I have gone for Even the Darkest Stars. And that is the book I'm reading, because none of the books, apart from this one, fit that prompt. So it has to be this one. Good job I decided to reread, isn't it? So that's a locked in one. We then have Cupid. So this is read a book with a trope you love. And again, this could be, sorry, this bit of hair's really annoying me. It just keeps floating into my forehead and digging in my eyes. Just stay away. Lost trains of thought. Trope I like. So again, most of these books can definitely do this. I mean, just Hobbs' immersion, detail, character, emotional exploration, found family, all of that good stuff. Generations being spoken about, that would kind of work in that one. Children off on an adventure quest would work in Shadowsea. Or sisterly relationships and or not quite the chosen one, but like that, like finding out more about your past kind of thing could work for Once We Were Witches and Twice We Make Magic. The Girl Who Speaks Bear, like a character not fitting in. The same could be said of Fierce Femmes, I would imagine. So yeah, there's lots of, oh, also found family for Hollowpox. There's so many I can just put into that category, because there's so many tropes I enjoy in all of these books that I want to read. That was Cupid. Donna and Blitzen. So Donna is to read a book you're excited about but don't necessarily like the cover. So this one is, I have 2 options. Now, when I say about this, I'm not talking about this particular cover. I really like the cover of Reaper at the Gates. I really like the series covers that I have. This is the good cover that's really pretty. I love all of the kind of the glowing artwork and having the object on the front and like the stars. I love the kind of the symbolism behind it and the different colours each book has. I'm not a big fan of like people featuring on the cover. It looks more like movie poster feelings than cozy, exciting book feelings. So Reaper at the Gates, where it's got the 3 people on the cover, not a fan of the cover, but I want to read the book. Also, Fierce Femmes and Notorious Liars. There's a lot going on in this cover. These white lines with the words on, I can't quite click into it. I was drawn to this book because I recognised the title. It wasn't to do with the cover, so I'm not really a fan of this cover either. So there's 2 options. And then, no, not finally, but it's the one that's going to make a lot more choices for me. Oh, no, I can't do a dice roll. I need my number cards because it's 0 to 9. This is a 6-sided dice. Maths time. We'll come back to Blitzen because Blitzen is kind of the crux of the thing. I don't need this. So Blitzen is, you need to randomly choose a number between 0 to 9, and then whatever book you read has to end on that page number. So for example, if you roll a 5, then it could end on, if it's a really short book, it could end on page 55. It could be that. Or it might end on 375. Or it might end on, 1055. As long as it ends in a 5, it would count. If you got 5. I don't know what I'm going to get. I'm surrounded by books. I'm hoping one of them's going to fit it. We'll find out. But let's do Rudolph. And Rudolph is reading the first book in a series. So I've only got one of these because I'm trying not to read series. And that is, not to start new series. And that is Once We Were Witches. Oh, actually that's a lie. Even the Darkest Stars could count as well because it's the first book in the duology, but it can't because I need it to be a star because that's the only thing I have for Comet. So not that one. So this one kind of needs to be Rudolph. So these two have kind of already locked themselves in place. So I really hope I don't need them for Blitzen. But these are the only ones for these, so I can't use them for Blitzen. I'd have to use something else anyway. So, right. So these are the only two that are locked in. I'm going to go find a bag of numbers. Okay. I have numbers. They're all here. They're going in a space bag. So let's jiggle it around. Ooh, what's going to be? I can't even find the opening of the bag. I've got this one. It's a 2. It's a 2. Do I have a book that ends in 2? Let's see. Girl Who Speaks Bear ends in a 2. There we go. The Girl Who Speaks Bear is going to be my Blitzen. So, with her being Blitzen, let's see what I fit into everything else. So we have Once We Were Witches for Rudolph. We have The Girl Who Speaks Bear for Blitzen. And I'm just going to ponder the other ones for a bit. Okay, trying not to overthink this. I'm just not looking at the books I haven't put in this pile, just not looking at them. So I've had to make some sacrifices. But this is my Reindeer Readathon potential plan. So Dasher, finishing a series, Fool's Fate, Robin Hobb. Dancer, Fantasy Swelly Writing, All the Wandering Light, Heather Fawcett. Prancer, Favourite Season, Shadowsea, We're Going for Spring with the Green Colours by Peter Munzel. Overhyped book, we're going for the Ember and the Ashes quartet. We have A Reaper at the Gates by Sabaa Tahir. Even the Darkest Stars for Comment because of Stars, again by Heather Fawcett. Trope You Like, Sisters, Twice We Make Magic by Sarah Driver. I've stopped saying reindeers. So, Vixen with Reaper at the Gates. Overhyped. Comet, Cosmic Title Stars. Cupid, Trope You Like, Twice We Make Magic. Cupid. Donna. Don't necessarily like the cover, but really want to read the book. Fierce Femmes and Notorious Liars by Kai Cheng Tom. And Blitzen, I rolled a 2. The Girl Who Speaks Bear ends in page ending in 2. It is 352, I think. No, 412. Where I got 352 on 412. And finally, Rudolph, starting a new series, is Once We Were Witches by Sarah Driver. And that's it. I can get Christmas Star in with Fool's Fate because it's over 500 pages. I don't think that I want to... I don't ebook, so I can't do Christmas Lights. And I don't think I want to audio any of these because I want to read them myself. The only one possibly would be ones I've already read. That would be Once We Were Witches and All the Wandering Light. So I could listen to a little bit on audio. But we'll see if I like it. It depends if I like the audio or not. If I love the audio, then I probably will. That would help me get through them. Yeah, but that does mean that I haven't squidged these ones on there, which I really want to read. But I did say this could be a buddy read for January, so I think I'm going to put this in January. So Maria, January for the Vanishing Half. It'll be after Christmas. We'll be fresh and excited and ready for book chattering. Really, Holopox is not on here. We will let's just not talk about it. Just not talk about it. And I'll renew it from the library. That's Noelle in the Immortal Palace. And Danger at Dead Man's Pass, we'll see. I could still read it because it's in Havoc-athon. But I don't know. I don't know. So that was my Reindeers one. So let's look at the Havoc-athon one now that I've narrowed it down. She says, okay, so possibly still Danger at Dead Man's Pass, but if I do read it, it'll be kind of like the last one because it's not in Reindeer. And then we have fantasy plus a red title, Fool's Fate. BIPOC author, we have Saboteur here with A Reaper at the Gates. LGBTQ plus rep, we have Fierce Femmes and Notorious Liars by Candykane. So there we go. There's the Readathons. There's the Readathons. All the buddy reads are covered. That was the important thing. And how many books in here count towards my Read What You Own challenge? This doesn't because it's a reread. Girl Who Speaks Bear does. Oh, sorry. That was Once We Were Witches. Doesn't count because it's a reread. The Girl Who Speaks Bear does count. That's one. Twice We Make Magic doesn't count because I earned it after I made my physical TBR, even though it's one that I own. Even the Darkest Stars doesn't count because it's a reread. Shadowsea does count. We've got Shadowsea. Yay. All the Wandering Light does count. Nearly picked up Ballet Shoes. That was the place. Oh, that's how I Capture the Castle. We'll see. We'll see about squeezing it in. And that's a buddy read that didn't make it. Okay. I don't even think I mentioned it for any of the prompts because I keep forgetting it's there. Shh. We've done it. Blinkers on. Fool's Fate doesn't count because I earned it after I did my physical TBR. But A Reaper at the Gates counts. Fierce Femmes and Notorious Liars doesn't count because it's a library book. So that is a grand total of 4 books towards my Read What You Own challenge. Do we think I'm going to make it by February? It's not looking good. It's not looking good. The pile of rejects, so let's look at them. So 3 library books. There's only kind of one. I can't remember. I think the Vanishing Half, I think I earned it after, so I don't think that counts. So just Hollypocks would count for the Read What You Own challenge. Everyone has their own journey. It's all fine. What have I done to my hair? I'm going to blame the hood. Let's put the hood up. Let's reindeer it up to leave and say goodbye. Okay, so there we go. That is a very long-winded, overly thorough look at what I'm going to be reading. I don't feel that I'm going to read all of those books for Reindeer Readathon as much as I want to be competitive. Oh, I never told you my team. Can you guess? Is this a clue to what team I could be part of? It's Team Nutcracker, the best team, obviously. Cracking all those nuts. So yes, Team Nutcracker for the win. I'm going to do my best, everyone. I'm really going to try, but I'm not going to overly stress myself because it's all supposed to be fun. So I'm going to do strategically, going for the top points first to get them in. We'll see how it goes. But I'm excited for all the readathons. I'm excited for all the reading, and I hope you are too. Please chat to me down in the comments. Any thoughts about any of these books? Are you taking part in any readathons? Which ones are they? What are you reading? Are you doing any? Are you taking part in the Read What You Own challenge? How's it going for you? You know I love a chat. And happy reading, everyone.